It's been a minute. Oh shit, man. It's been a minute and you know, it's like that because I really didn't have nothing to say. Didn't have anything to say. Oh no. Oh. And I think it's probably too late for some people to come on. But one of the gods hit me up and was like, "Do I know Victorious? El Allah." I was like, "Victorious?" My first thought was, are you talking about Victorious L and now why? But I was like, nah, I don't really, And he was God was talking about how Victorious was talking about some of the stuff in Morocco. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's who you're talking about. That's who you're talking about. Well, he said Victorious Allah. And so I was like, Victorious Allah. And so the NYP talk show interviewed the name of. So I'm listening to this interview, and I'm like, all right, that's peace. He's talking about his history, all this stuff, and it's like, okay, I mean, I don't know him. I've seen him a couple of times. I don't know him. We never built. He's never built with us. You know, the God's here, as far as I know, and I've been around for 10 years. And so I'm not someone that just came around like the last 2 years, right? 2, 3 years. I've been in this cipher for a while. And if someone says, and I'm not saying he said this, right? But if someone says they've never seen me, they've never seen Wise Prince Allah in Morocco's cipher, they are lying. They're lying. They are lying or they don't come around. Right? So there's some brothers um, that was a part of this cipher that doesn't come around anymore, and they haven't been around in a long ass time, right? So not only does someone and Victoria said he's seen me, right? He's seen me, and I've seen him. I've seen him, a couple of times. It's been years since I've seen him. It's been years, but I've seen him a couple of times, and it was very briefly. It's not like he stays around. He's usually rolling with magnetic, and so, and like I said, I'm not saying he said this, right? But I'm just making it clear that if anyone says they are here in Morocco, and they've never seen me, they're either lying or they're not around. You see what I'm saying? For example, it's what 4 or 5 years now, except for when COVID happened in 2020, that I've been in charge. I took on the responsibility of Allah's born day celebration, right? So if anyone been to Allah's born day celebration in Morocco, they've seen me. They see me, and I'm the one talking, right? And so that's like that's one of the events where just anybody that was influenced by the 5% is welcome to, because we're honoring the man and his legacy, right? We're honoring the man, Allah, right? Our father, our founder, of this 5% nation. We're honoring him. And so anybody can come through as long as they're respectful, right? And, because the 5% has influenced people. We have influenced people. And so, all right, you want to, you want to give thanks, you want to, build or whatever. That's peace. That's peace. And so, peace to y'all who came into the live and stuff. If I was on my laptop, right, my Wi-Fi is not working, so I can't get on my laptop, and so that's why I'm doing it on my phone. Usually, I do it on the phone at the on the Sunday at the park because I don't have my laptop, and so right now I'm on my phone, and so I would have done a reaction video, but my internet's not working, and I know I've been gone for a long time. I've been gone. And so, so I'm watching this interview with Ron Brown and Victorious El Allah. And I'm like, okay, that's peace. He's going through some of his history. I'm like, okay, that's peace. I didn't know this about him. So I'm like, all right, that's peace. You went through what you went through. You came out right. That's right and exact. That's peace. Everybody has a history. All this good shit. And so when it went to talking about Morocco, this is when I'm like, huh? Look, I comment underneath the video. And so if y'all want to know what I'm talking about, go to NYP Talk Show, right? Shout out to them, like I said. Go to the lives and then look at Victorious El Allah's video. It's like 2 days ago. So he's talking about Morocco. This is my home. This is where I'm from. Like, not originally. I mean, those that know the history, I'm not originally from here, but I've been here since 1998. So I've been here 26 years. Over 26 years. I got the knowledge here, right? I got the knowledge here. And so since I had the knowledge, I've never lived anywhere else. So I've been here consistently for 10 years. Whatever's happening in this cipher, I am there, right? I'm not missing. And people know that I come and usually I bring the family. I bring the queen and I bring the kids. And everybody that is around knows they seen the queen and they seen my kids, right? All right. So Victorious is talking about Morocco, and this is like halfway through the video, and he's talking about Morocco cipher, and I'm like, huh? Hold, hold the hell up. You see, he said something very controversial. Daddy, yeah. No. He said something very. He said he's the reason Morocco shines. I'm like, what? What? He's the reason Morocco shines. Look, I don't know. Maybe he's talking about because he deal with crystals and all. But when you talk about you're the reason Morocco shines, and then you say that nobody is teaching and building, is that a reflection of you or a reflection of us? Because the the few brothers that is new to this cipher is because of me. So who's not teaching? Who's not building? Look, like I said, if I had my laptop, we would review what was being said. And look, I didn't even know until God told me. The God hit me up like, "Yo, do you know this guy?" I didn't even know who he was talking about at first. So okay, so Ron Brown, he asked him, "Okay, well, the only gods I know in Seattle is Wise Prince Allah and Magnetic Allah, right?" And so Victoria says, "Yeah, I'm, I forgot what he said, but basically he's in tune with Magnetic, in that, he's seen me a few times, but he's never built with me. And look, that's peace. And I agree with that. I've seen him a few times, and I've never built with him. So there's no problem with that. You see, there's no problem with that. He also says that, if you claim to be a 5%er and you say you're true and living, he's going to need to build with you. He's going to need to build with you. And so this, like, okay, well, I've been in this cipher for 10 years. And if you and I have seen each other a couple of times and we never built, then what you're saying is that's not true. What you're saying is not true. Like I said, I am in charge of Allah's born day celebration in Morocco. I'm in charge of it. You see, so, and I can tell you, and the reason why I'm addressing this online is because he said all this online, right? I don't have a relationship with him. I don't have a relationship with Magnetic either. You see, I've talked to Magnetic. We've talked throughout the years. And he does his thing, I do my thing. You see, and there's a reason why, I don't deal with Magnetic and he don't deal with me. You see what I'm saying? But as far as Victorious, I don't got no problem with Victorious. I just got a problem with what he said. He's the reason Morocco shines? Okay. Look, hey, I don't know. But every time I go somewhere and travel and I say where I'm from, there's only two gods they know that's from here. There's only two gods they always ask me about. Only two. That's Savior Knowledge and White King. Savior Knowledge and White King. So to say that he's the reason Morocco shines, shine where? Nobody know you live out here. You're not even from out here. And so there's some things I can agree with. There are some brothers that's bullshitting and saying that they 5% or saying that they God, but they bullshitting. I can agree with that. And I understand he says, and I'm paraphrasing a lot of these things because I only heard it once, I watched it once, and that's all I really needed. And so to say that Magnetic is the only one that has 120 and understands it, my G, Look, I take offense to that. I take offense to it because, and of course, basically he was saying that he knows, he's been in contact, blah blah blah, right? The the problem with B is that you're saying that why King isn't right and exact with this. You're saying Savior knowledge isn't right and exact with this. Like, look, I don't agree with everything that the brothers here do. But I don't agree with everything. Look, I don't even agree with myself all the time. So I don't agree with everything, the gods do. Look, okay. There's some things I'm like, all right, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. But to say magnetic is the only one, my man, I take offense to that. And to say that we not building, we're not teaching. Someone asks a question, where is the God's teaching in Seattle? And he says, nowhere. Yeah, ask no, not that one. Ask Amir. Tell him go get you some water. So to say that we not building, that we not teaching, that's it's highly disrespectful. And look, is it where I want it to be? No. So I can agree with him. Like, I'm not satisfied with the state of the cipher in Morocco. I'm not satisfied, right? And so there's some things that need to change. Yeah, we need to have a consistent rally in parliament. Yeah, no, I got you. I agree with that. He didn't say that, but that's somewhere that I think it needs improvement. You see? And, I'm saying we because I'm included in that. You see, it's my time right now. It's my time. And so all the things the brothers did before me, all praises due to them, it's my time right now. You see what I'm saying? And so some of his criticisms, okay, that could have been said to us and not on the NYP talk show. Because, the brother Ron Brown, also known I Supreme, he's not from over here. He's not from over here. I've never heard him say, Victorious, I've never heard him say he's the reason Morocco shines. For a lot of people, their first person that they know from Morocco, if they're a younger generation, is me. I'm the first person they know from Morocco. Right? And like I said, when I travel, now why show and prove, other places, they know that Savior knowledge is here. They know that why King is here. I've never heard no one's ever asked me anybody else. Besides, okay, hold on. There's one person. One person asked me about Shah God. No, two people asked me about him. He's not even a 5%er though. And he's not even from here. Right? And so he's doing his own thing. So I take offense to what Victorious was saying, that One, he's the reason Morocco shines. My mans, we haven't seen you in years. What are you talking about? When Lord just came a few months ago and we had a meeting, he said, Lord Just, you know, he's the eldest brother in my tree. He's the eldest brother in my tree. He had the knowledge in the 60s when the God came here. Hey, be quiet. When the God came here, he said, yo, Wise, you know, I only want to meet up with the builders. I don't want to meet up with no jokers because I got to tell y'all some of the history that y'all don't know. He was telling about, me and Allah. He was talking about some of the firstborn. He was doing, you know, hey, what did I just say? And so, pardon self. And so, when Lord Just came, he wasn't around. Allah's born day celebration, he wasn't around. When we're connecting with the gods in Portland and in the Pacific Northwest, he's not around. He said he's only around magnetic. My man. So how are you making Morocco shine? Nobody knows you're here. I didn't even know he was still here. I'm from here. And I'm not hard to find. I'm not hard to find. I be out in community all the time. So I'm not hard to find. You see what I'm saying? And so what the biggest thing I had a problem with is him talking about Savior Knowledge. Savior Knowledge is my big brother, right? My big brother. And so, during the interview, he was talking about how brothers yell and all this other stuff. And he talked about emotional and all this. I was like, okay, where are you going with this? And so he brought up Savior Knowledge and he's talking about Savior Knowledge and how Savior Knowledge is from New York and how he be yelling and how he's doing better now, but he was on crack and he was on drugs and shit and all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, look, I don't be with Savior every day. You see, I don't with Mr. Barr called me. I don't be with Savior every day, right? And so if he is doing that, right? And if he was off drugs, whose business is that to say? In all my history of knowing him, which is 10 years, he's never gave me any reason to think he was on drugs. That he was on drugs. And of course, look, hey, he could be on drugs, all this other stuff. I don't care. I don't care. You know? Uh but like I said, in my dealings with him, I've never got that inkling that that was the case. Peace, Darkim. Yeah, like that was a wow. I was more offended about that than when he was talking about the brothers in Morocco don't build or teach. Look, okay, you could be talking about some people. Okay, right? He's not qualified to talk about Morocco and he don't be around. He's not around us. He's not around us. If you ever seen photos of Morocco, you know, a rally, a parliament, Allah's born day, you see me, you don't see him. I didn't know he was still here. And check this out, you know, what I know about Victorious is that how is he going to talk about people and the brothers here just want to get paid, get grants and stuff from the government? Peace, divine truth. And again, like I said, I'm addressing it on here because he said it on the internet. And so how he going to talk about brothers just want, you know, nobody's really real about this, and Magnetic the only one that know 120 and all this other bullshit, and that everybody else, you know, people just want grants from the government and they want, you know, blah blah blah. Look, hey, I don't know everybody in this cipher, right? I don't know everyone that say they was a 5%er here. I can only go off the last 10 years that I've been here, right? And so, but to say that when the thing I know most about Victorious is how he was scamming people on Facebook, selling jewelry and crystals, and them sending him money, and he not sending them product. You see, and this shit is documented. You see, this shit's documented. And so when people talk about Victorious, that's what I think about. Because it was a big deal. If you was on Facebook, what, 8 years ago, and you was within the nation, you would know that there was a big deal about stealing from other people. Maybe y'all didn't know, but that's my first introduction to him. Before I even saw him here, I heard about him online. He was still in Ohio at that point, or at least that's what people were saying. And so when he came out here, I'm like, ain't you, hold on, isn't that the dude that was stealing shit? That was selling crystals and selling all this shit? And he ain't paid the people? And people was pissed off? Matter of fact, look, y'all don't gotta take my word for it. Go to your Facebook, type in Victorious God Allah. Type in Victorious God Allah. Go to the little thing and click post. And you'll see a post of him, of True, what's his name? Forgot, True Divine or True something. And it says, fuck him. And it's a long post that talks about what he did. And there's over 130 comments and multiple people talking about how he stole from them. But you talk about my brothers? You talk about my brothers. Look, it's been a long time since Petty Wise came out. It's been a long time. And like I said, I'm not hard to find. I'll be at all the nations events in Morocco. The few that we have, but we do have them. You see, look, contrary to what he said, he's not the reason Morocco's shining. Nobody knows he's here. Nobody knows him. You see what I'm saying? And so I had to come on here and set the record straight. How I see it. Now, before 10 years ago, I don't even know if he was here because he didn't say when he got here, right? But, before 10 years, hey, I don't know. I was here, but I wasn't in the cipher. So, if what he's saying was, 10 years, whatever ago, maybe 11 years, 12 years, I don't know. I wasn't around. But he talked about within this last 10 years. You see, I've never lived anywhere else. I didn't move out of Morocco and come back. I've been here the whole time. Peace, everyone. Watching, everyone, all that stuff. Go check out, like I said, some people new coming in, so I need to reiterate. I'm talking about this interview Ron Brown, aka Ice Supreme, right? NYP talk show had with Victorious. It was 2 days ago. So if you look up NYP talk show, you go to the channel, you hit the live, go down and look at Victorious, El Allah. Like he said he's never divbled and dabbled and he's just been this 100%. He was talking a lot. Look, he's talking about spirituality. He's talking about spiritual. He's talking about crystals and fucking all this other shit. And he's talking about he's 100% for this. I don't talk about crystals. I don't talk about spirituality. I don't talk about brothers being spiritual. You see, look, when a brother says he can't trace his tree, when he says he don't got an educator, he don't got he said a lightener. He don't got a lightener. He don't got an educator. He can't trace back his tree. Where you come from? Who is your peoples? Where'd you come from? Who's your people? Because your roots is not here. Your roots is not here. And you see, look, pictures don't mean nothing. Pictures don't mean nothing. But, when gods come here, not many come here. Not many come, travel here, all this good stuff. But when they do, I'm usually there. If I know about it, I'll meet up with you and we can build. When Inf Mega came, I met Inf. This was when I still was early in my knowledge and all that stuff. I was very quiet, doing the knowledge to him. See? And so, but I met him and he talks about that. Inf talk about it. A couple of years ago, Born a Law from LA came here. I met up with him. He was working out here for months and nobody met up with him. I met up with him. Took him out to eat. We was building a little bit. We didn't have a whole bunch of time, but I met up with the guy. We was talking all that good stuff. See, so I'm not a mystery. I'm not a mystery guy. You see, I'm in this cipher. You see what I'm saying? And like I said earlier, most of y'all wasn't in here. But if someone says that they've never seen me in the cipher, they're either lying or they're not in the cipher. You see what I'm saying? They either lying or they're not in the cipher. And like I say, he didn't say that. Victorious didn't say that. He said he seen me and we never built. And that's true, we never built. We never built. And so, with him saying that he wants to know if everyone's true and living, he clearly not. Because I've been here for 10 years. And a lot of these dudes I've never built with because they're never around. If they come around for a little bit, 5, 10 minutes, and they leave. 5, 10 minutes and they leave. They don't stay around. They don't build with the gods. None of that. None of that. And so when he says he only rotates with magnetic and all that stuff, look, peace to magnetic. Peace to him. I don't deal with him. He don't deal with me. Peace to him. Peace to him. But if you only dealing with one person and there's a cipher and you don't know me, I've been around 10 years. How can you really talk about the state of Morocco? At this point, you only talk about hearsay. You only talk about hearsay because you're not around. You see what I'm saying? I haven't seen him. And the next time I see him, if I do, I would love to build with him about what he said because there's some things we need to clarify. You see, there's some things we need to talk about. Not on no beef shit. Not on no. He talked a lot about gangs and living a G life and a G code, all that shit. Look, we righteous people around here. We righteous people. And so I just got some clarifying questions. What did you mean you're the reason Morocco shines? Who are these people that you said you taught? I've never heard anyone say they trace their tree back to him. Not here. Yeah. I don't even know Supreme knows. So the same thing screenshot I sent to you, Dark Him. I'm gonna send it to him because I did text him. I was like, what? Supreme did ask me about did I know who Magnetic was? Did I know who Magnetic? And I don't know if he asked me about Victorious, but he said that I know who Magnetic was. And I told him what's the science with Magnetic, me and him, that we don't deal with each other. And that it's peace if you want to interview him. Look, man, that's your thing. It's peace. I ain't got no problem. He don't deal with me. I don't deal with him, and it's a personal thing. You see what I'm saying? It's not that we beefing. I'm not beefing with him. Look, I can see him. We could say peace, or we could keep it quiet. You know that. You know those are the two options. He said everything. Well, I said everything I need to say to him, and I don't know if he said everything he needed to say to me, but at this point, there's none that we need to talk about. So if that's who you running around with, and you listen to his interview's more about Black Panthers and the NOI, and not much about the 5%. So that's who you're running with. That lets me know you don't know what you talk about. He's the one that knows 120 and understands it, but his interview that's talking about a 5%er is got you talk about everything else more than the 5%. See, so yeah, I'm a ask Supreme about that. Like, yeah, look at this. Ask him about this so he can clarify this. You know, because to my knowledge, he never cleaned that up. He never cleared that up. It just kind of went by the wayside. And so that's really all I got. Um, I was going to come on yesterday. Um, True Divine be calling me every week asking we're going to hop on. But my internet's been tripping the last few days. Like, shit has not been on. That's why I'm on my phone right now. Because if I was, like I said earlier, if I was on my laptop, I would actually go through the video and talk about it. I know there's some things I'm missing, but those are the main things I want to talk about because, you know, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. You see, clearly, Victorious El Allah. I mean, I don't know where he got the L from because, you know, he said he was talking about, you know, not dealing with Moorish and not dealing with all these other schools of thought. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. I had to, I mean, I don't have to ask him, but so he's saying that brothers ain't teaching, brothers ain't building, you know, then he just don't know. And he's speaking from a place of ignorance. Because, like I said, the last few brothers that came, new brothers that came into the cipher, I'm the reason I taught. I'm the person that taught them. I'm the person that taught them. So, you know, look, as far as, you know, there's certain people that's not living it out and all that. I agree with that. There's some things I agree with. A lot of the shit he was saying about Morocco, I don't agree with it. But there's some things I agree with. You know, we do need to improve the cipher. All this, you know, beefing with the first brothers and all this other shit. That's them. You know, like I said, my time is now, and I took on what I took on. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, you know, people know who I am. I'm not just someone online. I'm someone that you can touch, someone you can build with. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, did you hear him when he said he had 800 gods in one prison in Ohio? Yeah, 800. Yeah, you know, shit was fantastical. Some of the shit he was talking about was fantastical. Like he was reading the Bible and he stood up and a voice told him that he's God. A voice told you you're God. And so been living, no degree told you that, no nothing. You didn't, you know, okay. Yeah. Look, Darkim said, I haven't heard about 800 gods in the whole state of Ohio. My man, yo, 800 gods in one prison. Look, I wasn't, you know, I wasn't really paying attention. like that to that. I heard him say that, but I was like, oh, okay. But now that you're saying that, because when you know, I was waiting on him speaking about Morocco, the 800 God. Look, there's not even 800 gods on the West Coast. You see? Yeah, yeah, that part too. So how you end up around us if you just came up with the knowledge? No educator, no nothing. No educator, no nothing. It just beamed up in your head. Beam me up, Scotty. Yeah, so there's some things yeah, it's that's so I had to come on. I had to. I was gonna come on anyway, right? Because apparently some of y'all can't get women, and so uh, I think a perfect show would be, and Darkham was telling, me and Darkham can work this out. But having a meet and greet, a little mingling with the brothers and sisters. You see, because I got some flack. People was like, the childless gods and godless earths. What the hell you talk about? But you see, I told you, Darkham. I knew what I was talking about. Godless, childless gods and godless earths. I know quite a few brothers that ain't got children. And understand, look, you trying to wait for the right, well, you look, man, it's peace. And sometimes it's like y'all got to know how to talk to women. Yeah, 800 gods and gee, what prison was this? I'd like to know that. Do they even have 800 prisoners on the at one time? That's hella people. That's hella people. How many guards? You would need like they be talk about how it's sometimes it's 20 to 1. You know, you would need like what 40 guards for that many. Yeah, so it's just some of that shit is it just sounded fantastical. It's I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting interview. I Supreme, like he's getting some interesting people. Some interesting people. So, yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, so that's all I had to say. I'll probably get on. I might hop on tomorrow for the walk in the park. Um, but yeah, that's all I had. I don't really like doing it on the phone. I don't got my setup like Dark Kim got his setup, so I'm just holding the damn phone. And so that's all I had to say about, and that's all I gotta say about that. You know. I told you stop doing that. And that's all I gotta say about that. And so, like I said, man, I'm open to build. I'm open to talk. To certain people. But yeah, that's just how I see it. Yeah, you know, I don't know. People want to be controversial and shit. And so with that, I'm gonna say peace. Peace to the gods, peace to the earth, peace to the babies, man, peace to the babies, peace to the civilized, and peace to the uncivilized, because the uncivilized need it more. Peace.